Hey everybody, Rhadamant here for episode 82 of Kenshi. So last episode we took down the Holy Nation's capital, and now I'm going to head into Admag. Admag is currently being assaulted by some of the remnants of the Holy Nation, and I'm going to head down there to turn in the... Oh, you want to fight? Alright. The leader of the Holy Nation, the Lord Phoenix himself. But before I do that, I want to go over some tips. So the first tip I received is from Mad Zomber, meaning Mad Zomber said that I should stick around in the Holy Nation and search for the Holy Plate recipe. I could, but I could also go to the Great Library and buy it there or something like that. It's not really a recipe I really want. I never really want to dress up like the Paladins anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then the other tip I received is from Cyanader, mentioning that I should free all the slaves from Rebirth, which is a Holy Nation slave outpost. And that's a very, very good point. I wouldn't mind doing that. This green... Could that be a skeleton? I wonder. Let's go and make sure it is not. So, who can carry someone? Crumble definitely can't because his arm basically sheared off. So, Mew, you're going to take Beep's skeleton. Beep, you are doing what now? He was repairing some skeletons. Alright, Beep, we're going to go see what this dot is. And then everyone else is going to follow Seto over to Admag. This is one of the few times I'm actually going to watch Beep move around, because I need to see where I'm going. So you are human mercenaries. So you're the remnant human mercenaries that I hired, I guess. There seems to be a lot more of them than I remember hiring, though. Another thing I could do is to have Beep go into Blister Hill. If my... Ugh. Come on. If my mouse would work. Hello, mouse. There we go. Kind of got stuck there. And let's see about AI rescue allies. See if Beep will automatically rescue some of these skeletons. Oh, alright, so Blister Hill already just collapsed. As you can see, all the buildings are in ruin. That's because I left and unloaded it, because Phoenix is not in Blister Hill, so I guess it registered it as collapsed already. That's surprising. I didn't realize that would happen until... oh, so some Hungry Bandits on my tail. Until I turned Phoenix over, but obviously that's not the case. It's already gone. Well, that's cool to know. It's good to know that Blister Hill will never be back to the way it was, because it's not owned by Lord Phoenix anymore. It is fun to watch Beep do the zoomies. Really gives you an appreciation for how fast he is. Mew is struggling to keep up. Mew might be slower than Seto. Yeah, Mew is now slower than Seto. Let's go switch back who's carrying this dude to get Mew faster again. Mew, you're slower because you're encumbered? Presumably because you're, holding armor. That would explain it. I suppose I could hand that over to Plan. And let's go through all these guys and have them ditch stuff that doesn't belong in their inventories while we're moving to Admag. Seems to be a perfectly reasonable time to rearrange and reorganize. Speaking of rearrange and reorganize, Griffin, let's switch sparring partners. This guy got a little too strong for us to reliably spar with without risking injury. And we will use a new one. This old one is crippled. Let's go ahead and kill it real quick. Right. Straight up dead now. Perfect. To the homesteaders, we have a lot of people idle, but that's fine, I guess. Molly. Molly. What is your weaponsmithing at? 91? I'm sort of curious as to... Long swords would not be bad weapons to queue up. So I'm going to have her queue up some long swords. At this point, I really should graduate away from katanas. They're a good way to raise dex, but they have huge penalties to robots and stuff like that. So good backup weapons would be better. Edge 2 long swords. Alright, so this is all set. Time to go focus back on Seto. So I did want to reorganize the inventories to make sure that everybody has stuff that they need. This spare key will go to Sadneil, or repair kit. I don't know why I call them keys. There must have been a game where it was like repair key. Wing doesn't need all these meds. Silvershade could take a few more bolts. Once again, too many meds. And probably too few bolts, but I could fix that later. Again, too many meds. We don't really need to needlessly encumber our crossbowmen. And I guess those are the only plates I have. So I have the Holy Chest Plate stolen from Lord Phoenix, which looks different, actually, than the regular ones that are yellow. So that's cool. And this old Paladin's Cross Edge 3, which I had purchased from the scrapyard, which I'm no longer using. All right, let's speed up time. Beep and Agnew doing their own thing again. Every now and then they kind of go and do their own thing. What is this? Some raid camp? Yep, I'll detour for a second for some dust bandits. I'll take you off the hold too. Let the gutters finish them off. The gutters is the... calling them a faction is a little weird, but basically the gutters is beak things. So if you ever select a group of beak things, they're in faction the gutters. I think the reason why wild animals are in factions is so that if you grouped all the wild animals together in one faction, they wouldn't fight each other. So you'd have like beak things cooperating with bone dogs, cooperating with Garu, cooperating with wild bulls. So they all have their own little factions so that they fight one another. That might not be exactly true, but I think that's probably the reason why they have a difference of factions. That way, beak things will be a predator towards other animals rather than, you know, a weird ally. Alright, so if my mouse over Blister Hill, I guess it's saying that it's still... I did poke back there and it's actually formally collapsed, but it's saying it's not. It's having a difference of opinions. Which is fine. As soon as I turn over the Holy Phoenix, it will be a flotsam town. Unfortunately, and this is something that was pointed out by several one of you, like Ron and Yezerul and Chromology, that the more you interfere with foreign politics, the more you try to change the world for the better, honestly, the sort of worse it becomes. Because despite the fact that the Holy Nation is terrible, as are the UC, as are a lot of other factions, they provide governance and stability. So when you overthrow them, the world dives deeper into chaos. Think of Game of Thrones, for instance. In Game of Thrones, you had a lot of separate factions that are all independent, and the world is sort of violent and full of turmoil. But when those factions dissolve, the people most at risk are the townsmen, the citizens of those areas that just get decimated. You know, when, you know, if you hate the Lannisters, for instance, but then you raid Casterly Rock and all its inhabitants are far worse off than they were before. So what's going? Let me get back onto point here. So what's going on here is you have a last-ditch effort by the Paladins to sort of attack the Shek, which is what is happening here. So you had a few. You have, I guess this dude's an Inquisitor. You have some Inquisitors here that are still trying to fight and resist collapse. So I just told my guys to have at it, do whatever you want, go attack everyone that you see, because we'll help them clean up their town. Oh, this Inquisitor is crippled. Let's finish him off. Now, I definitely don't want to put my robots down. That would be a bad idea. The guards here strip weapons off of the unconscious already, so they're doing the job. But what I need to do is I need to find Banyan. Here's Asada. She's easy to spot because she looks a bit different than the rest of the guards. Banyan is hornless and skinnier, but in all this chaos, it might be a little tricky to actually find him. But Banyan, I think, is who I need to turn High Lord Jerkoff over to. But I am not, at the moment, finding any Banyan. Is he on the roof? Shop guard. I don't know where he is. I could alternatively, let's just put High Lord into a prison cell. Because those prison cells are about to fill up full of paladins. And that should open a conversation, yes it did, with Asada. Perfect. So, with Phoenix defeated, as he is in a prison cell, all that's left is to finish off his quivering generals. Valtena of the East is who you're talking about in Ocaran's Shield. And she basically just tasks me with finishing them off. Alright, that's totally to be expected. So the next few things I want to do is to finish off the Holy Nations. So that means going to Rebirth, and I'm also going to Ocaran's Shield, which is somewhere around here, in the edge of the Arm of Ocaran. Alright, back to following Seto. Seto, head home. I have a buttload of skeletons to deposit back into, I'm not going to call them prison cells. They're not my prisoners, but into storage containers. It might be a little bit of a lie, but there's no other way to keep my skeletons from wreaking havoc negatively. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I forgot I had queued these up. Very cool that I have all these pieces of armor now. Pengu, I'm going to need you. I'm going to start loading Pengu up with weapons that I no longer need. Or armor, rather. So let's take all the specialists out of this stockpile to free up room for the masterwork. Specialist. Masterwork. And take some food for yourself, too. Alright. So Pengu can go on a... Oh, no. Stop. He don't need help. I promise you. These guys were set on passive. Oh, well, Wike wasn't. Gecko presumably wasn't. No, Gecko was. Gecko was just trying to be helpful. All right, so Pingu's ready for a trade run. Once everyone else gets home, we can have Beep or someone pick him up. Wike, let's go make some arms. I did spend millions of dollars, or cats, probably about $1 million by now, buying the lifter arms and scout legs. So I guess making it myself would be pretty cool. So this is going to take robo components and electrical components. We have a huge stockpile of electrical components. For robo components, we need more motors. So we need quite a lot of motors. So we'll make a lot of motors afterwards. And let's prioritize the limb bench over the robo bench. There we go. Swanky. Getting that going. Back over to Seto. We're waltzing through territory potentially full of... uh-oh, plane got stuck. Full of beak things. I'm not all that worried. I can take out on probably as many beak things as the game can throw at me. But I don't want to collapse and then all of a sudden have my robots run free. They were very, very hard to fetch the first time. The reason why I really, really wanted to get the robots back together is there will be times when my raiders are away from the base. And when they are away from the base... what is going on here? There's some sort of camp. When they're away from the base is a lot less defended, a lot less protected. Oh, this is just a big swarm of cannibals. Cool. But having all of these crazy strong, they're actually really, really, really strong skeletons, like in holding cells in the base, it will allow me to, you know, to defend against potentially base-destroying raids pretty effortlessly. You know, having an ace up in the sleeve, so to speak. So that's why I went to great lengths to try to recover them. And I still have about 20 of them, or so. Because I still have 3 left here, and I recaptured like 16. Something like that. I don't know. I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but I'll figure it out pretty soon as we'll be putting them into holding cells. So here's my first crafted robotic, which is kind of fun. Molly is back to making longswords. The reason being is the katanas have a huge penalty to armor penetration and damage to robots. So they're very, very, very bad for robots. Whereas a longsword, if we take a look at the edge ones, have far less of a penalty. They don't have a bonus to humans, but they have less of a penalty to armor penetration. So well-armored enemies will be more damaged by a longsword. Oh, and here we are. Perfect. I wonder if I got my captain back. So what I'll do is I'll fill these cells. Oh, is this the cap? No, that's not the cap. Because we'd see the captain if he had the improved armor, the holy, unholy chest plate. What I could do is all these spare pants that I just made, I could equip on these guys, the ones that are getting put in. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be able to repair these guys. I think they're probably going to want to jump out of the skeleton beds pretty quickly. I don't know if they're going to want to stay in the skeleton beds, but, you know. Nope, that's not Cap. Not the captain either. But yeah, as you can see, we really recovered quite a lot of them. Oh, here he is. Alright, let's put him in front. Yep, here he is with his unholy chest plate. What I'm gonna do for funsies is give him the Masterwork Holy chest plate. Really make him paladin-like. Oh, and actually give him the Palicross. Make him really, really rub it in that they were defeated by skeletons. Oops. Let's pick up that long cleaver. So now it's very clear that this dude is the Capitan. Yes. Yes. Gonna open this gate real quick. Sneak Pingu out. Because Pingu has a bunch of pants now that I could trade on these skeletons. Because I definitely want to outfit them still. You know, I don't feel that they should be neglected. Alright, so that's very clearly the Capitan. Nice. Who still has robots? Wing Wang, Green, Silver Shade, Hobbs. I don't think Mew does. No, Mew does not. Stubbs? Nope. And Crumble. Okay. So we lost 3. That's what I thought we lost. And we're also going to need weapons for these other ones. I hadn't made weapons for them. And breaking down the other old cells. At this rate... Oh, Wrath of God is coming to me. That's cute. So the Wrath of God is a giant Holy Nation raid. I don't actually think they're coming, though. I'd be surprised if they do. Maybe they do. But the reason why I don't think they're coming is I don't think their faction really exists anymore. So, again, maybe they do show up. I'm going to assume that they do, but sort of expect that they don't. So I will, in fact, go heal my people. Plan is now she has a lot of random crap to sell. Pingu has some pants to give out. So let's put these on Rhadamant for now. And I will pants up the skeletons here. Those who do not have pants. And we'll prefer samurai pants on them. Alright, there's also some new samurai pants for us to wear. And I think it's about time that we upgrade to the samurai pants. So I'll get those out soon as well. I still have so many robots. I am really satisfied with how many I was able to bring home. So I have quite an army if I need an army. And if this Wrath of God raid is actually coming to me... oops. Oh, no, that's fine. Unleashing these dudes going to be quite satisfying. Alright, so Rhadamant puts on some samurai pants, and then all of my other robots are going to get samurai pants as well. They're my tanks. So Burn and Agnew. Let's go back and the one I added that was like Masterwork. Yeah, found it instantly. Perfect. We'll not put Masterwork on the little broken ones before we put them on everyone else. So Kang, you need Masterwork Pants. Ruka, again, Masterwork Pants. I know I am trading really, really quickly here, and it's probably hard to follow, but just trying to get it done. And then I ditched a bunch of Specialist Pants, so we can hand these out to the No Pants Robos. And I have just enough pants to put the rest of them on. Swell. So 3 of them needs... 1 needs a chest plate. 2 need chest plates. And we no longer need any pants unless we want to prioritize Samurai. Which I might. Because all these hand-me-down Samurai can be used for other reasons anyway. So, 2 more white plate jackets. I don't see any red dots of Wrath of God coming in. Additionally, anyone with bionics, or robotics I should say, might need a quick repair. Alright, everyone's just about rested up. I know Plan's rearing to go. I think what I'm going to have is Plan do the trading and not Pingu. And Pingu can go back to basically supervising the fighter pit. It's weird that my fight pit's guard is a big bull, but hey, that works for me if it works for you. All right, looking good. Now potentially we are all nicely repaired. Seto, you are in fact using the Palicross. Oh, we have some armor that you should not have. Trade that to Plan. Do a quick check on everyone else. Yep, there's a long cleaver that needs to be traded away. Alright, and then Beep will pick up Plan and go do a trade run into Mongrel. Oh, no, not Rain. Beep into Mongrel. So Mongrel has a few... Chromology reminded me, thank you Chromology, that Mongrel has a few 24/7 shops, one of which is the robotics. Oh, yes, we got a Masterwork arm out of Wike here. So the robotics shop is 24/7, as is the Snail House General Goods. Wait, where did that limb go? Who took it? I'm really, really confused. I made a Masterwork lifter. I have no idea where it went. Did I grab it with the wrong person? Yep, I grabbed it with Burn. Because my skeletons are idling around right now, I'm going to do something cruel, but worth doing, which is to throw Burn into the peeler. At the moment, it doesn't seem like he's being peeled because I think he has his armor on. So let's take that off. It's weird. Oh, something odd is going on where I can't. There we go. So now he's being peeled, and Wike is going to just sit there and repair him. automatically. Sad Neil, we're going to have you hop in bed so that you don't try to repair him. And Dr. Chung, I'm going to get you off of robotics. Yep. I tried to do this with a broken one, but it didn't work. They weren't set to automatically repair. So this way, I can't screw it up. He's automatically always repairing. And it's really, really, really cheap to do. So I'm curious if that Wrath of God was really just a bluff. I think it was a bluff raid. That is the biggest raid that a base can endure. The Wrath of God is normally a very, very scary raid because there's you get swarmed by holy nation people. And not only that, but then there's a lot of Inquisitors that show up too. But I think because their whole base has collapsed, their whole empire has collapsed, that they won't be able to do much to me. KLR, Masterwork, Scout Masterwork, there we go. Steady. Alright, they really didn't have a lot that I wanted to buy. What else? These crappy little first aid kits I can sell off. Maybe that's it. Everything else I can keep. I'll sell the splint kit. Then beep. Show me what you got. You have some random stuff. Cool. All set. Beep. We're ready to go home. He's having some pathing issues. Cool. So I think just because it's closer physically, Rebirth might be my first target. It's really not that far from my base. And I might have Griffin join on this one and leave Plan behind, because Griffin needs to see why I hate the Holy Nation. He's an ex-Holy Nation. He had like a message from God that a wealthy person was how he was supposed to dedicate it the rest of his life to. But he, I think, deep down inside is still Holy Nation material. And he needs to know why I needed to destroy the Holy Nation. So he needs to see their cruelty firsthand. I didn't want to, from a role-playing standpoint, didn't want to make him fight them personally. But now that the Holy Nation is all but collapsed, I think having him go to Rebirth is a good next step. I'm also going to start queuing up bolts again. Alright, Griffin. So if we're doing that, let's have you collapse this dude. No, there's some pathing. There we go. Because he'll need to heal up. So first aid this cannibal, because he's still... Oh, we almost split his head open. He's still worth sparring with. And now let's arrange the squads. So Plan gets added down here, and you get added up here. Alright, so he's healing up. I'm sorry, Baron. It is getting my robotics up. So if we're doing that, we need to make sure that our crossbowmen have their own bolts. So for right now, I'm just going to load green up with all the bolts, and then he can share with everyone else. You can trade with everyone else. So let's go ahead and free burn. Have everyone get ready to go on a little bit of a rebirth trip. All right, that looks pretty good. Maybe one more. All right, that's enough for green. So Stubbs and Crumble are the ones that need more bolts. Rebirth shouldn't be that hard to knock over, though. Everyone follows Seto. Who ended up getting all that random leather? Hobbs, I think. Yeah, all right, let's... Not that it was a lot of it, but let's put this away. And the chain... Everyone's following Seto, and Seto head to Rebirth. It's weird traveling without plan, but as I said, Griffin needs to see this firsthand. Griffin also kind of doesn't have a proper weapon. Let me turn him around real quick. We can take a... Yeah, so we're starting to get those edge 2 blades out. Griffin can take one of the skeleton's weapons. It almost would make sense for Griffin to use a paladin cross as well. So maybe I'll give this nice paladin cross to Griffin. He's encumbered by it, but not terribly. And he'll build strength by using it. Because Griffin's an ex-paladin. You might as well have a paladin cross. I'm not going to give him paladin armor, because paladin armor is terrible for the limbs. There's terrible, terrible coverage. If you want proof of that, Chung, can I borrow you for a second? This is the best possible paladin armor, and it covers left arm 25%, right arm 25%. Basically, if you want your limbs to be chopped off, wear paladin armor. Which is funny to me, because paladins, ironically, in my opinion, don't believe in robotics, and yet they wear armor that causes their combatants to need robotics soonest. So, very, very stupid, in my opinion. So as far as I can tell, the Wrath of God is not coming my way. I really just don't see any indication that a Wrath of God raid is headed to me. Blister Hill, it might require me to save and load for Blister Hill to change ownership. It even shows that there's a bit of a raid in AdMag still, because some still might be unconscious. I don't think there's actually troops there. I just think that some of the Holy Nation are still unconscious over there and are registering as such. I wanted 2 white plate jackets. Did we make both? Yes, we did. Nice. And back to the samurai leg plates. And Seto and the crew. Heading to Rebirth. Seto, I think if you take off your boots... Yep, she's a little bit faster. I don't want to put up on the sandals, because then I think she'll be faster than some of the next slowest. And here's a Holy outpost totally overrun by fog. And that pretty much happens. What happens to a lot of the old holy military bases when the Holy Empire falls is they fall to factions that are adjacent or rivaling. So a rival faction to holy might be fog. So I think there's a scenario where you can have Stack or one of those places literally be owned by the fog, which is hilarious and wrong in all sorts of ways. Seto here, trying to find a path towards Rebirth. So all of those escape Holy Nation outlaws, I think, came from Rebirth, if I'm not mistaken. Here we have some guards. So Seto, put your boots back on. I'm not going to try to min-max this. I don't think there's enough guards here for me to bother sniping out and all that jazz. So what I will do is put my snipers aside. I like how they say I won't win the fight. Like, you're not going to win the fight even a little bit, buddy. Oh, we sniped him in the head. Yeah, the robots will destroy you all. I can almost promise you that. Alright, now my snipers take the walls, take the idiots, their idiots off the crossbow. We don't want them harpooning me or whatever. Flotsam has come? Yeah, you damn right I have. And as you can see, I'm just storming their walls. Complete disregard for them. Alright, let's put green and silver out here. Mew and Hobbs. And then Stubbs and Crumble. I don't know what kind of line of sight they'll have, but alright, so that gate is down. This whole entrance is cooked, so to speak. But for the rest of the fight here, I might have to do it next episode. I'm just about out of time. Oh, hello. But I will clear out this little outpost. Seize me, yeah. Come seize me. All you. Oops. We don't want to Rorschach them. Alright, well done. There goes that entire outpost. So, if you have any tips or ideas for directions for the series to take, drop me a line, and I do hope that you tune in next time for the Fall of Rebirth, where their slave camp will be closed for good. Alright, thanks everyone for your feedback so far, and I hope you tune in next time. As I said, I'll catch you all later. Adios.